Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
Under the lights at one of the toughest short tracks in America, the stars of Tier 1 Truck Series are ready to trade paint and chase glory. Welcome to Richmond International Raceway, a track where finesse, patience, and a little bit of muscle can make all the difference. This is the next stop on the road to championship greatness, and it's all brought to you by Tier 1 Setup Shop, the trusted name in performance setups, fueling speed and precision across every corner. Bumpers will be used. Tempers will flare, and every inch will count as these drivers battle it out under the Virginia sky. Short track racing doesn't get much better than this. Get ready. The green flag is about to drop for another unforgettable night of Tier 1 Truck Series action. Welcome. My name is Zach Woods up here in the Tier 1 studio, and I'm joined by the guy behind the curtain, Brett Bullard, in production, and we are so excited to give you another night of Truck Series action. You can see the trucks out here getting ready. They are setting to qualify with a setup that has been challenging for these drivers during practice, but as mentioned in the intro, these drivers are up for it. You saw it last week, a battle down to the wire at Watkins Glen, and now we shift gears and go to a short track that doesn't really race like a short track. There are some major speeds reached here at Richmond, and yet you can't mess up any corner of this track. You're going to find yourself out of the groove and falling back through the field very quickly. Here's Eddie Baker, the driver of the Sullivan Tire Machine, was able to get out in front. Ooh, look, there's Caleb Collins to the inside fence. And there's Matthew Erickson racing around here, trying to lay down a good lap time. He's at a 22.154 for tonight. We will be joined later on by our in-race reporter, just a little bit, and that will be Dakota Ramsdell, one of the drivers you are used to seeing up front. Right now, he's P2 on the charts with a 21.719. Take a look at Jordan Barube making his way around Richmond. The thing about this track is you have to control the car under braking, make sure the back end doesn't get loose on entry, and then, of course, you have to be patient, throttling up off of turns 2 and turns 4, and I have to admit, these drivers have been struggling with it during practice, and we're going to be in for I think a night of comers and goers for tonight's event. We have 105 laps around Richmond tonight, and we'll get into the stages and the details of that in just a little bit, but we can see some of these drivers are now pulling off, getting ready for the warm-up period. Really excited to bring tonight's action to you guys. Again, this race is brought to you by Tier 1 Setup Shop. Racers, it's time to level up. We're proud to introduce Tier 1 Setup Shop, a fresh new name in iRacing world that's about more than just fast setups. Our mission, simple, help you perform well at the racetrack and feel supported off of it. At Tier 1, we're not here to just drop a setup and disappear. We believe in feedback, collaboration, and community. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just dipping into open sets, your input helps us improve every build. We're launching with competitive setups for cup trucks, late models, mods, legends, and more. And if you got questions, need adjustments, or just want to talk racing, we're here. Real support, real people, not just transactions. Tier 1 Setup Shop is live now and geared up for iRacing Season 3. Visit tier1setupshop.com and hop into the Discord to join the team, give feedback, or just hang out with fellow iRacers. We're going to be talking to you guys later on about Tier 1 Setup Shop's sponsorship program. But as we transition into the warm-up period for tonight, we're going to take a look at who qualified where for tonight's event. We'll wait for this to all transition over, and there we go. Justin Sumner, driver of the 90 Ford trucks, able to get pole position, not by a whole lot. You can see there, 0.011 is the margin between him and Dakota Ramsdale. Jordan Barube rolls off second, Eddie Baker third, Greg Wood Jr. back from hiatus qualifying third, Paul Owens, a name we haven't seen here in the truck series in quite some time, strong run in sixth. Seventh is Caleb Collins. Matthew Erickson starts eighth. You have a whole bunch of Titletown Racing drivers there from fifth through eighth. Then you have Jared Hayes, Connor Elliott getting that top 10 spot in the one Jumpman machine. Bill Sleep starts 11th with Dave Harrington, Scott Milliken, Devin Lockridge in the 91 qualifying 14th. And then there's no 14th or 15th place driver. If you tuned in last week, you know Devin Lockridge and Brett Bullard don't race tonight. Brett is in production and Devin is our RC. So 13 drivers make it the grid for tonight's race. I want to bring in our in-race reporter now. Let's bring in Dakota Ramsdale. Dakota, it's Zach Woods up the booth. I see you're making warm-up laps. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, you got a fast truck underneath you for tonight. What's the strategy getting around this place?
Man, probably just to make sure we got a shot to do something in the end here. Short track racing, so it's going to be bumping and running, and tire fall off is pretty rapid from what I could tell, just a little practice I've had tonight. And yeah, man, just hoping to be there in the end.
Well, you got really good qualifying position, and ultimately track position can be extremely beneficial for racetracks like Richmond. You don't have to fight your way through the field in order to get to the front. You're already there. So good luck tonight. Keep a good truck underneath you, and we'll see where it all shakes out.
Hey, I appreciate that.
All right, we'll bring you in at the conclusion of the stage. More than likely, it'll be after your pit stops. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Alrighty, thanks.
All right, that is our in-race reporter, Dakota Ramsdale, and he's going to be piloting that 83 truck to the front. But they're all chasing this guy, the driver of the 94 machine, Justin Sumner. He had a dominant race over at Watkins Glen. However, it turned into a fuel mileage race, and he struggled trying to keep the truck underneath him and save gas late. Ran wide into turn one. If you missed that race, we'd love for you to tune in and watch that live broadcast back on our YouTube channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Tier 1 Studios on YouTube to watch a fantastic race between ultimately these championship contenders here for Tier 1, because the championship standings, they're heating up right now. You have guys with wins who've locked themselves in, and they're trying to do everything they can to keep on winning. Eddie Baker, Justin Sumner, Jordan Barube, and Matthew Erickson. And you have guys that are above the playoff cut line as you look further on down the chart, but they're only ahead of the cut line by just a few points. Take a look at a guy like Connor Elliott, only +9 from the cutoff line. Bill Sleep, he is the cutoff line, is sitting at 12th position tonight. Dave Harrington, driver of the 66 machine, we comment about how he methodically goes about his week in and week out. He's sitting -4 tonight. Big names like Rick Wood Jr., who's taken off a few weeks, he is 14th in points, -12. And And then you get to some of those guys further on down the charts that we do mention every week, but for one reason or another, the finishes just aren't there. Kevin Coleman, 16th in points, minus 16. You have guys like Alex Fuller, who has shown speed, but he's 17th in points, minus 16. These drivers are going to try to do everything they can tonight, put it all together here at Richmond. Really excited to bring you tonight's action from this track. Lots of driver personalities are going to come out this evening, especially the comers and goers section. You heard it from our in-race reporter, where tire management is going to be key tonight. And I think that for these drivers, patience will be a big benefit to them, especially if you didn't get the qualifying time that you were anticipating. You got to really work your way up through the field in order to make up some ground. I'm thinking of a guy like the driver of the one, Connor Elliott. He's starting 10th tonight. He left about 2/10 on the racetrack from his practice time. He's looking for a little bit more. Guys at the cutoff line or below the cutoff line, Bill Sleep and Dave Harrington, as we mentioned earlier, they start 11th and 12th tonight. What is going to happen in regards to their performance tonight? Again, taking a look now at your starting order. We went through this earlier, but we're just going to scroll through this now on the screen just so you can take a look and find your favorite driver tonight. But some of these guys that are further on down in the order, they're definitely going to have to be patient and manage their stuff well so that they can be there at the end of the stages. Stages tonight are lap 38, 75, and then, of course, the completion of this race is lap 150. There's Brett up in production, stage 1, lap 38, stage 2, lap 75. So, yeah, we're going to get rolling here very shortly as drivers are beginning to grid up and get ready to go. I'm really excited to bring this action to you. Richmond's always a great track. It's a driver's track. And in these trucks, you can't get away with faking it. You got to be able to hit your marks, fall in love with the consistency of the racetrack, and be able to put together a whole run. We haven't even talked about what it's like to get on and off pit road. All that and so much more we're going to wind up covering in tonight's event, featuring the best of the best that Tier 1 has to offer for their truck series. Trucks are gridding up now. I've caught the pace truck. Lights are off on the pace truck now. So we're going to go one more time around. And who do you think is going to wind up putting it together tonight? Leave a comment down below. Tell us who you're rooting for in tonight's field. Got some names here that we haven't seen in a little while. Guys like Greg Wood Jr., we know he's quick. Paul Owens is always quick. You know, those two guys, they really haven't raced a lot with this crew. So be interesting to see how other drivers in the field sort of mesh with those two guys as the regular season continues to wind down for the truck series. But it will be a familiar sight on the front row. Justin Sumner and Dakota Ramsdell is going to lead this field to the green flag. The pace truck is off. 2 by 2 they go, slinking up to one another. And we are green here under the Virginia sky from Richmond. Justin Sumner clears the first portion of this pack, and he's going to have clear track getting in through turns 1 and turns 2. The battle is now for second with Ramsdell to the outside of Baroom. Baroom's able to cut that lane off, and look at that lunge from Greg Wood Jr. They go 3 wide here on lap 1, leaving turn 4, and the battle here is for 4th. Jr. thinks better of it, slides behind the 2, is able to let this battle for 4th play out in front of him. I can't believe we were 3 wide at lap 1, and these drivers are throwing haymakers. This is the only side-by-side battle currently on the racetrack, as these guys single filed out and are now trying to find a rhythm early. Eddie Baker's able to fend off the hard-charging Ramsdell, and Now we get some single file action from Richmond. This is all Paul Owens brushed the wall there coming off of turn 2. Doesn't look worse for wear, but gotta pay attention to how hard you're able to push this truck early. A long run here to the stage, so these drivers are gonna have to take care of their stuff. Different lines you're already starting to see as the 84 touches the fence. And there's Matthew Erickson touching the fence off of turn 2. You're going to just see that all throughout the night. These trucks are durable, but once again, it only takes a couple of those to really start piling up and get to a particular racer. Meanwhile, back up front, you can see the lead already starting to grow, almost a half a second for Justin Sumner over Jordan Baroob. A few weeks ago, we saw the driver of the 22 Easy Day Bot machine struggle in the long runs at a racetrack that was, well, much like Richmond. You got to take care of your stuff. You have to be able to keep the truck underneath you. I'm not surprised that the 22 is this far up front early. I'm not surprised he's challenging the 94. It'll be interesting to see if Baroob can keep the truck underneath them and keep up some long run pace. Back here is a battle for the 7th position. It's a whole host of drivers. Hayes, Collins, Erickson, Elliott, and Milliken all back here looking for position on one another. The jump man, Connor Elliott, looking to the inside of Matthew Erickson. He's going to make that pass. This is for the 9th position. These drivers back here trying to get some stage points, put themselves in a good position for a nice points day here in Richmond. You can see the different lines here. You can make stuff work up top, run a half a lane off the bottom, a lane and a half off the bottom, or you can try to paint that yellow line. It's all just based on your preferences and how you want to drive the racetrack. As Milliken is able to make his way around Erickson, that is for the last stage position in 10th. Driver number 3 making some headway. Got a battle here, starting to shape up for the 4th position. Greg Wood Jr. has caught Dakota Ramsdell. Let's see if where Wood Jr. really gains on this 83 truck. Little bit of a different line through 1 and 2 between the two. The 83's got to drive a little bit defensively. Half a lane higher up here through 3 and 4. He drifts up all the way above that white line. He's trying to get that launch off the corner. The 67 able to roll through the center of the corner, get that good launch off. Little sideways going into 1. You can just see the 67's got a lane in front of him. He's able to maneuver through turns 1 and 2. Almost a bump, but he's able to lay off of him. This is a great battle here for the 4th position. Paul Owens licking his chops back there in 6th position, just watching this happen. This is why Richmond is such a great track. You can race either high or low and make up some ground. You just have to perfect your own craft here. And it looks like the 83 is able to run that high line a little too high there in 3 and 4 as he touches the fence. Let's see, is he going to be able to let the 67 roll on by? Is he going to keep fighting for it? Nice pull there off the corner, and the 67 makes a pass for 4th. Our in-race reporter, Dakota Ramsdell, falling to 5th position, now in the clutches of the driver of the 30, Paul Owens, making his way to the front. A driver who is on the move tonight is Scott Milliken. We mentioned him earlier in the 3 machine. He just passed Connor Elliott for the 9th position. We saw him make a pass on Erickson for 11th. Milliken is up 4 positions tonight already through 15 laps. That's pretty good headway here at Richmond. This is a tricky place to pass people. You just watched that battle for 4th place not too long ago. It took a few laps for those 2 drivers to sort themselves out and to settle position. The driver of the 3 machine is making some headway early and is able to start reeling in Caleb Collins here for P8. It'll be interesting to see how far that 3 might be able to climb tonight based on how fast he's been through the first 16 laps of action. Back up front, it is well, as expected, the Justin Sumner show. He has led every lap tonight from the point. Barube, instead of being about 0.3 of a second back, you can see that gap starting to increase more and more. It's just over a second on the live timing and scoring between these two drivers. Again, Barube, he's shown that he's got really good short run speed. I'm very curious to see how he's able to save his stuff, save his brakes, save his tires, keep the pressure on the 94 throughout tonight's event. With a field this big and just the nature of Richmond, really, these drivers are going to spread out. They're going to try to get single file, find a rhythm of their own. And Barube here on the onboard has just got to manage his stuff, take care of it. Slides like that coming out of turn 2, that even just a little slide like that can really burn up your stuff. Look at that. The driver of the 84 right up against the fence. In 3 and 4 again. This is just driver personalities coming out. The battle here has shaped up and has passed since we've been back up here. Paul Owens makes the pass for 5th place. That is the battle between him and Dakota Ramsdell, our in-race reporter. Ramsdell suffering a little bit. He's -4 from when we began tonight. Struggling with the balance of that race truck early. See back here, Bill Sleep, the guy that I mentioned week in and week out, just sort of takes care of business. He's not really interested in joining the fray, keep the truck underneath him. He's hardly ever really involved in any incidences. When it comes to stage racing, he does tend to wind up snagging some stage points. The 2 cars in front of him, that's Matthew Erickson and Connor Elliott. Guess what? Connor Elliott's 10th. This is exactly what Bill does every single week when it comes to stage racing. He'll back off at the beginning of the run. And look at this, back up here, we immediately have a battle back for 5th place as Ramsdell is tired of sliding through the field. He's looking to challenge the driver of the 30, Paul Owens, as they swap positioning going into turn 1 and turn 2, flying down the backstretch now. Looks like Ramsdell's going to send it into turn 3. Slide job in front of the 30. Another crossover from Paul Owens. This is a great battle back here for 5th place. Crossing over one another. Great shot here from the blimp view. See the 83 is able to power it down, kind of diamond the corner. Thinks better of it here going into 3 and 4. Arrow tight off of the back of the 30 machine. You saw the 83 sort of walk up the hill there because he was right in the tire tracks of Paul going into the corner. I like that move from the 83, but now looking back here at this gaggle of cars, we have a whole nother person involved here. That's Dave Harrington in the 66 machine. Some of these drivers we mentioned are close to the cutoff line or below it. Harrington is one of those. Bill Sleep represents the cutoff line for playoff action. This is a battle for 10th position between Connor Elliott, between Matthew Erickson, Bill Sleep, and Dave Harrington. Matt thinks better of it. That truck gets tight. That was really close. Here comes Bill Sleep looking to the inside. These guys are trying to just find real estate on the racetrack where the other guys aren't. Here comes Bill, rolling the center of the corner. Can he make the pass for 11th? He does. Doesn't really have that long arc coming in across the start-finish line. That's going to hurt his straightaway speed, but he's able to keep that truck underneath him going through 1 and 2. Matt going to look to make another pass. Dives in, and there's some contact. What a save by Bill Sleep. This was a battle for 11th. Matthew Erickson gets into the quarter panel of Bill Sleep. Both of those drivers do a great job to save it. Let's take a look. What a save. Saw Bill able to really send it through here. I think there's about a lap away. So we're going to speed up. We're going to get to that action. But you can see Bill, he's made the pass. He's ready to go. And here comes Matt. just locks it up, gets into the back corner on 65. What a save. Those guys, look at the air here. They pass it all. It's in my area. All that is just the light on rally sitting at 10. Meanwhile, these two haven't stopped. Crossing each other up, battle really hard, and there's a bump to Paul Owens from Ramsdale. These drivers now door to door, and he's not clear yet. He's gonna make himself clear. This is short track racing at its finest between these two drivers battling for the 5th spot. And Paul Owens mount a charge here. We are nearing stage end. As the leader just got lap 32, you can see stage 1 is on lap 38. Only a few laps to go to sort out stage positioning. Every spot matters. Every position matters. Meanwhile, back up front, Sumner has increased his lead to 2.2 seconds over Jordan Barube. You can see here on the live timing and scoring how that lead has just increased. It has been a flawless stage 1 for the driver of the 94. Rolling through the center of the corner, trying to increase his lead over this guy, the driver of the Easy Day Bot machine, Jordan Barube. He's +1 from where he started tonight. I've been impressed. He's really fought hard to stay up here, keep his track position, and I think now we're in the stretch of the season where people are going to have to start to take notice of the driver of the 22. Meanwhile, this guy, everybody knows him for the heroics he pulled off last week. Eddie Baker in the 84 machine. He's sitting steady here in 3rd place. Don't know if he's going to have just enough time to catch Peru, but he's going to be satisfied with that 3rd place. 4th here, a name we haven't seen in quite a little while. This is Greg Wood Jr. As it currently sits, he's below the cutoff line for the playoffs. This will be a nice little grab of stage points here for Greg as he sits P4. 5th is, that battle is over. Dakota Ramsdale has captured 5th place and is pulled away from Paul Owens there in the 30 machine. Driver that's +2 from where he began tonight is Jared Hayes in the Superflow machine. He's done a really good job. Caleb Collins. Saw him, I think he wrecked during qualifying. I might be wrong. It might have been done, but Scott Milliken, he's our biggest mover of the night, +4 from where he began. I've been very impressed with the 3 truck. And then look at this. Bill Sleep, while we were going through the field, made the pass for 10th place. This is exactly what I said. As we are nearing the completion of lap 38, Bill Sleep has found himself in a position to snag a stage point. Through 3 and 4 is the driver of the 94 machine. It is going to be Justin Sumner, not quite lapping Matthew Erickson and company, but it is good enough for a stage win. Justin Sumner is able to snag stage 1 as we're waiting for the top 10 to get through to the start-finish line to throw the caution flag. There we go. Bill Sleep able to secure that 10th position as we mentioned earlier. So you have both sides of the top 10 putting together respectable runs for this portion of the race. Drivers are going to get ready to go down pit road now, and I want to tell you about Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsorship program right after they get done on pit road. Let's see what we can see as these drivers make their way down. I know Brett's just itching to use his fancy little tool when it comes to looking at who's going down pit road and how long they're going to spend down there. Drivers have hit the pit stops, and you can see them. They're off and away. This tells us who does what. Each driver is in charge of taking fuel. And how they launch out of their box dictates that pit time. Sumner and Barube, identical pit stops. Fastest stop so far is Ramsdell at a 14.4. Connor Elliott had some damage, 20.4 on the chart for him. Let's bring up our in-race reporter, Dakota Ramsdell, and see what he's doing. Dakota, it's Zach up the booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, you managed to get through stage one pretty good. Saw you battling door to door there with Paul Owens for quite a while. I talked to the fans about tonight's experience real quick before you get lined up here.
Track is slick. Right now the truck's building kind of tight. I'm hoping the track cools off a little bit, maybe a couple degrees, and we can put down a little bit better lap times in the beginning. I felt like we had a pretty strong long run car there, and I'm excited for that final stage if we're in that same spot to really see how much time I can make up on them.
A guy already planning on the ending of this event. Well, go get him, Dakota. We'll talk to you at the end of stage 2.
All right, man, thanks.
That's Dakota Ramsdell. I want to tell you a little bit about Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsorship program as they get ready to go back to green. Are you a streamer, league owner, or broadcaster in the iRacing world? Want to earn money while giving your community a real benefit? Join Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsorship program today. We'll give you a custom promo code that gives your viewers and drivers 10% off every setup they buy. And for every setup sold using your code, you earn $1. That's real money in your pocket just for promoting something that your audience already needs. Visit tier1setupshop.com or message us on Discord to get started. These drivers are ready to get started side by side as we get ready to go back at Richmond. Sumner gets a good jump, and it's Jordan Barube who spun the tires there. And there's a bump. Greg Wood Jr., Paul Owens, Dakota Ramsdell in the fence. The 22's in it. The Superflow truck's in it. I think Bill sleeps to the inside fence, and we got a big one here at Richmond off the restart. I think that was pretty much 2 wrecks that happened at the same time. The first one comes, well, it really starts because the 22, he is able to spin his wheels off the restart. Greg Wood Jr. messes up entry. I don't know if the 46 got into the 30 or not, or if the 30 also cooked it. There's Caleb Collins, hard into the fence. Look at Barube. He's in it. There's Bill Sleep. He's sideways, missing it. I don't know if he got hit to get sideways, but if that's a natural miss by the 65, good on him. Take a peek. Did the 65 get tagged? Yep. Matthew Erickson gets into the back of Bill Sleep. Some of these drivers had a front row seat to all this. Take a look at the 30. He's trying to cut down in. Yeah, he tries. He sees Greg getting loose, and he knows that 67 is going to go up the racetrack. He cuts down, gets into the 46. So multiple guys getting involved. The 22's in it. Tell you what, Scott Milliken had a great view of this wreck. He was able to come out of this unscathed. Good driver of avoidance, or good wreck of wins, I should say, by the driver of the 3 machine. Let's get on board here with Scott Milliken. Take a look at this. These everybody get a little squirrely. Just don't do anything crazy. Just stay your line, stay your course. The driver of the 3 now finds himself in 4th. Lap throws are running order for loop for sure. Drivers from 7th on back have now went down pit road a second time. I'm surprised that the 22 stayed out. That must not be a lot of damage on that right front of the 22 machine. We did see him get involved in that wreck. Be curious to see how that truck runs now through this run with damage. And 2 championship rivals now take the front row. This is the first time we've seen Justin Sumner and Eddie Baker side by side with one another. And if you haven't watched Watkins Glen from last week, I highly encourage you to do so. These two put on a show last week. But now we're going to look to get things going. As we go back to green, we're going to get lap 49 of this 150 lap event. We are underway back from Richmond. Milliken bent his tires a little bit. The field jumbled up in terms of pace right now. Look at Connor Elliott getting out of the groove up top, almost 4 wide. There's Paul Owens trying to muscle his way through the field. Some of these trucks decided not to lose a lap on pit road, and they're driving some trucks that look like war machines out there right now. And look at Caleb Collins' truck right now. It's all folded up and caved in on itself. Oh, Elliott hard into the fence there. These drivers trying to get everything out of their trucks right now. I'm impressed with Scott Milliken. He had a shaky restart, but he kept 4th place underneath him. Look at this. Greg Wood Jr. looking to the inside of Dave Harrington. Dave was fighting for some stage points at the end of that last stage. And I think the driver, the 46, the Superflow machine, Jared Hayes. Oh, look at this. Connor Elliott looking to the inside. Yeah, we got some Tokyo drift action between those two drivers in the middle of turn 1 and turn 2. Great save from both of those guys as they look to fight another lap. Erickson now giving up 7th place to Paul Owens. Got some racing all over the track right now with some drivers who haven't been up in the front. Get up. Oh, Paul gets a shunt from. Oh, no, Paul Owens hard into the outside fence. Surely that will be a yellow, and it is. And at first glance, you might look at that and go, well, Matthew Erickson just punted the 30 machine. But truth be told, this isn't Matt's fault, in my humble opinion, up in the booth. If you look at Paul Owens, he's going to get across the start-finish line. He's going to wind up hitting the fence. And that's going to mess up his corner entry speed. Watch this. Watch the 30. Oh, nope, maybe not. I could have swore I saw 30 hit the fence on entry. I think that fade going to the outside, and I'm certain that 30 came up right there in that move. Oh, yeah, he's a little, he goes up to fade, and you saw the back end of that truck lose traction to the track. It messes up corner entry speed. Matt's trying to time his entry, but you can see if we get to look in here, this will be a great view. Right there, where he loses ground and the back end of the truck's really not the racetrack. As soon as this truck right here gets sideways, he loses entry speed. And for the driver that's sitting behind, it's really hard to anticipate. Look at the 30. He's fading up, and right about there, you can see how much entry speed he loses because he's loose on entry. This is a common problem that we saw during practice. Drivers loose on entry, loose on exit. And it hits Paul Owens in a big way. Caleb Collins, Paul Owens, and Dakota Ramsdell all down pit road. It's a shame our in-race reporter, he was very confident in the abilities of that truck. Now going to have an uphill climb ahead of him. Back up front, Justin Sumner is going to continue to lead the field. Nobody's been able to take the lead away from him tonight. Eddie Baker tried on that restart to no avail. And then you have a couple guys that I'm really impressed with that are going to comprise row 2, and they're for really different reasons. We saw Barub get into that incident coming out of the stage, and I really thought the damage that 22 car got on the right front was really going to hinder the driving ability. It has not. He has done a good job keeping that truck underneath him. And then Scott Milliken sitting in 4th. We talked about him. He's the biggest mover of the night. He's having a very strong out. But a familiar sight on the front row between the championship favorites of Justin Sumner and Eddie Baker. They are going to be taking the field back to green. Going to get lap 58 here. Stage creeping in ever so slightly as the field bottles up a little bit, but no worse for wear. We're back to green flag racing at Richmond. Look at Baru. Going to take a peek to the inside of Eddie Baker. There's Greg Wood Jr. He's going to try to make a pass for 4th place. Can't get it done. The driver of the 3 machine's able to get that long arc out of turn 2. Going to keep it through 3 and 4. And he's going to defend 4th place pretty well. The battle continues to rage for 2nd place between Baker and Baru. Sumner really enjoying this. Wow, the 3 really sent it in there in turn 1. And I think that's Eddie Baker. Eddie Baker hit the fence pretty hard on exit of turn 2. Is the driver of the Sullivan tire machine now going to slip through the order? Is handling starting to get away from these drivers? You know, repeated heat cycles on these tires, not good. It doesn't handle well ever. There's Connor Elliott getting into Dave Harrington. These guys are battling for 8th position. Paul Owens in that damaged truck trying to make his way back up through the field. Connor Elliott and that Jumpman machine's doing a pretty good job at maneuvering his way through the field. He's up to 8th. Dave holding on to some stage points. Meanwhile, back up here, the battle for 4th continues. Greg Wood Jr. beating down the door on Scott Milliken, trying to get to 4th place. The Tops 3 machine has done a really good job at defending on this high line. But I think Greg's going to have the momentum coming out of the corner, and he will. The pass is made for 4th. A little bit. Oh. It doesn't get closer than that, does it? Milliken tries to give the little bump and run to Greg Wood Jr. Can't do it on entry. Now has to readjust his driving style to catch back up. On board now with the driver of the 3 machine. You can see how he's able paint that yellow line when he wants to, but we're so used to that 3 truck hanging on the outside. Keeping that truck about half a car width away in terms of lane choice. That's just to get some air on the front of the truck so it turns well through the center of the corner. Back here we have a battle. Matthew Erickson and Dave Harrington. This is a battle for 10th place, so stage points on the line back here. Driver of the 66 machine probably didn't want that caution to come out. He was sitting pretty in about 5th place. Stage is in 10 laps. This is an important pass here. Handling has gone away on the 30 truck, as we saw earlier. He was involved in that incident before the last caution. Actually passed these guys, and they repassed him back. So this battle between these 2 drivers are duking it out for stage points. Meanwhile, back up front, it's Justin Sumner, about a 0.8 of a second lead over Jordan Baru. I said at the top of the show, this is a track where you just got to fall in love with the consistency of it. Be nice and smooth. That's how you get around Richmond. You're not going to manhandle this racetrack and demand more speed out of your vehicle. You've got to be able to just be content on hitting your marks, watch the other guy miss, and pounce when available. There's Eddie Baker in the 84 truck. Rebounded well. I was shaking in my boots there for a moment for the driver of the 84. He was falling back through the field. Rebounded well. This battle here, again, I keep going back to Milliken. He has put on a great show tonight in the 3 machine. Got the track position, now is able to hang with Greg Wood Jr. Back behind these guys is another guy worth mentioning, Bill Sleet, +5 from where he began. He's 6th place. Look at the run by Bill. And again, as mentioned earlier, Bill just kind of minding his own business and not really getting involved in anything. Saw him miss that big jumble on the restart coming out of the stage, kept that truck clean, minding his own business, now sitting in 6th. So the driver that finished 10th in stage 1 looking to improve on that in stage 2. Matthew Erickson has chased down Dakota Ramsdell. This is a battle now for 9th. He's able to pull away from Dave Harrington, create some distance here. You don't want to do anything to jeopardize one stage point that you have, but with 2 drivers right in front of you, obviously the temptation is I can go up there, I can go get those guys. A driver who is off the pace that you might be wondering where he is Caleb Collins, a driver of the 72 machine. He's got a handful. Hey, look at that truck bent in and twisted up on itself. It's not a great drive for the driver of the 72 in terms of general feel. Look at that. We're seeing a lot of the safer barrier. This is great. But you can see he's struggling right now. Good news is, though, stage is coming. In just a couple laps, he's going to be able to get the lucky dog, tinker a little bit more, make some repairs on that truck. Second verse, same as the first. Driver of the 94 machine is putting on a show tonight. Justin Sumner making his way around Richmond, showing the field the master class of tonight. He's just able to always tend to scoot away about a second and just kind of sit there. And that's been a worthwhile strategy. Here comes the driver of the 94 off of 3 and 4. This is lap 75. We're going to take a look at completing this lap. Meanwhile, back here, this battle is a little bit closer than I thought it would be. Look at Eddie Baker throwing it into 3 and 4, trying to get another spot. Look at that truck sideways off of 4. He left everything out there trying to get it. I don't know what happened, but Greg Wood Jr. fell back to 11th. Let's take a look here. This is an incident between him and Milliken. These drivers were battling it out for 4th place, and no, that's Greg loose on exit. That's a problem we saw in practice. Too much wheel in the truck. Trying to scoot away on exit. Finds himself in the fence. Right there. Too much wheel in it on exit. Had a good run going. Not the end of the world. But is able to repair his truck and go down, get things sorted out as these drivers are now down pit road here at the end of stage 2 following Justin Sumner's win here in this stage. Taking a look. What's your favorite driver going to do down here on pit road? Fast stop of the night so far was a 14.2. There's a 14.4 by Baroob. Not good enough to get Sumner off of pit lane. Matt Erickson with a 14.5 there, and you can see those other drivers on pit road repairing damage from previous incidences. Let's go get our in-race reporter, Dakota Ramsdell. Let's bring him back up here in the booth. Dakota, it's Zach up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
I see you're on pit road and scooting off of it, but I know this stage wasn't exactly how you planned. How are you going to rebound here now, going into stage 3?
I'm just trying to get this damage fixed. I'm pretty loose on entry right now. I don't know. I mean, mistakes happened, and I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had a good restart there. We went from 6th to 3rd, and I was feeling pretty good. The truck felt all right going into one, and then I just get rear-ended. But it is what it is. It's racing, so.
Yeah, we've seen multiple drivers tonight mess up quarter entry and causing incidences for other guys out there. So I guess a solace is you're not alone. It's
Right.
happened to other people out there. We'll go get him here in stage 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna try to get up here and hopefully get in contention again.
All right, Dakota. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
That's our in-race reporter, Dakota Ramsdell. I want to tell you about the guy starting on the outside of the front row. That's Jordan Barube in the Easy Day Bot machine. If you're interested in Easy Day Bot, stream smarter, chat better, and grow your community with Easy Day Bot, this innovative Twitch and Discord bot takes interaction to the next level, keeping your audience engaged and connected. Don't just stream, build a community with Easy Day Bot. Don't just listen, talk about it now with your neighbor, and try it out now. And Jordan Barube's going to try to get a good restart here. Can't outfox the driver of the 94, Justin Sumner. He's able to pull away and bury it here into turn 1. The battle now will be for second between Eddie Baker. Oh, and Bill Sleep is sideways behind him. How did nobody hit Bill Sleep? What in the world? Oh, Matthew Erickson. Okay, camera angles. I was flabbergasted that nobody else got into this. Look at Bill Sleep starting inside here. Fresh tires, everything's cold. Look at the wreck avoidance. I am just so proud. like a mama bird watching a baby bird fly for the first time. They all avoided Bill. And then a couple guys got together here on exit. That's Erickson. Oh, getting booped by Paul Owens. The reverse of what we saw earlier. And then Ramsdell getting into the 46. The 46 trying to make his way out around. Just a little boop into the outside fence. Damage could have been so much worse as Bill Sleep was sideways across the racetrack. I want to tell you about THDesigns here while we're under yellow. Are you looking to take your ride to the next level? Whether it's iRacing paint schemes, liveries, or digital graphics, THDesigns has you covered. With top-tier attention to detail and creative designs that make you stand out on track, THDesigns brings your vision to life. Don't settle for the ordinary. Get a custom look that turns heads and wins races. Check them out today and get your car looking as fast as it drives. THDesigns, where champions get their colors. And we thank THDesigns for being a supporter here for many Tier 1 events. And got some great sponsors here. And again, a reminder, if you want to hop in on the action, don't forget about Tier 1 Setup Shop sponsorship program. That's a great opportunity for anybody to get on board. Every setup sold using your code, you earn $1. So that'll be real money in your pocket for just promoting something your audience already needs. So check out Tier 1 Setup Shop for that promo program. Well, lap 85 will turn into lap 86 for these drivers when we go back to green. Nobody's been able to dethrone the driver of the 94 machine. He has led every lap of tonight's event. Can Eddie Baker throw his hat in the ring? We knew the 94 had raw speed at the Glen last week, was able to drive away and able to contend, and then fuel mileage played a factor. Eddie Baker really double down and say, I am the championship favorite. Going back to green now, and this is as even of a start as we've seen for anybody on the outside of the 94 truck. Connor Elliott throwing a big block there on Greg Wood Jr. That truck's gonna skirt up the racetrack. Everybody survives. looking back up front, we saw a big dive there from Eddie Baker. Couldn't get it done to the 94 machine, but look at the driver of the Easy Daybot machine, Jordan Baru. We know he's good on short run speed. What's going to happen between the top four? That features Scott Milliken. Is he able to save it? What a save. Wheel hopped it into turn one. Hemorrhaging positions now, flying down the charts as Scott Milliken in the 3 machine. Had a great run going there in P4. Lots of time left between now and the end of the race, but you can't make mistakes like that in order to win, especially against a guy like Justin Sumner, who's been just putting on a master class tonight. These 3 drivers have been the class of your Tier 1 Truck Series for quite some time, and they're showing the field why tonight. Does Eddie Baker have anything for the driver of the 94 machine? If anybody is a Caleb Collins fan, wondering where he might be as the driver of the 84 gets a little loose, he's still on pit road. He's getting damage repaired. So if you just happen to be wondering, oh, is that Dave Harrington on the inside fence? It is. Dave Harrington had a moment here coming out of turn 2. Dave was in the 6th position in the 66 truck. And again, loose on corner exit. Hard hit to the inside wall. But he gets that truck re-rolling. As the night continues to wear on, the track will get cooler and cooler, providing drivers with a bit more confidence that the dairy moves are going to stick. But with the setup tonight, look at that group hammering it down to the inside. Well, talk about putting in confident moves and hoping they stick. That 22 machine now throwing his hat in the ring for P2. Sliding up the hill a little bit. Can he roll center off? Got to be careful, not too much wheel into it. Drivers fender to fender now, going into 3 and 4. Can Baru make the pass here on Eddie Baker and set his sights on the lead? No, we have a caution. Caution on the racetrack. And this is Caleb Collins. He's back on the racetrack. And I think that's just a case of fresh tires, not knowing what your truck does. I mean, it's been a long time since Caleb had a fully repaired machine. I know sometimes in the sim, when I get in there and I'm having a tough night like Caleb is, and I get all my damage repaired, slap on new tires, I kind of forget how the truck runs. That might have been the case for the driver of the 72, is we get some mixed strategy now going down pit road. Sumner and Rubin, Sleep, Owens, Ramsdell, Erickson, and Harrington all down pit road right now. 22 has had really good pit stops tonight, hitting his box very well. Let's see if he can maybe leapfrog Sumner here on pit road. Tried to, couldn't get it done. And this is gonna shuffle the order, will it? Eddie Baker will now take the lead as for the first time tonight, a driver other than the 94 will be leading tonight, as Eddie Baker now takes the point here on lap 94. Look at some of these guys now up here. You got Connor Elliott, the jump man, followed by Greg Wood Jr. He's seen his fair share of chaos tonight. Scott Milliken was sideways at one point, free falling through the field because he wheel hopped into turn 1. And I think Jared Hayes has had probably the most normal night out of anybody here in the top 5. So an interesting top 5 before we get to new tires back here in 6th place. Dakota Ramsdell, our in-race reporter, is still on pit road. He's leaving pit road now. Not the night he wanted. As I think he's going to go lap down. I don't know if he's sped on pit road or what. Possibly. No, it's not a 40-second hold. He's able to get out in front of the pace car, Lightning McQueen style, in order to get out in front of everybody. So Ramsdale stays on the lead lap. But he will be a good clip away from the rest of the field when we go back to green. Well, hopefully we can get a green flag run here, and we'll see what happens for these drivers. Pace truck is off. A new guy in town has shown himself number one. It's the driver of the 84 machine. Gonna be leading the field off and away. Barube to the inside of the 46. That was a quick move. As they are 3 wide, and Hayes gets into Sumner. Bill Sleep trying to stay out of it. Harrington into the back of Sleep. We are still green. Nope, we are under yellow again. Oh no, Barube! Barube is sideways down the backstretch. So we had a wreck going into turn 1 and turn 2, and then eventually something else happens to Barube going down the backstretch. Remember, these guys just pitted, trying to make their moves to get back to the front. And yeah, I don't know if the 94 didn't know he was 3 wide, or Hayes is trying to fade into the corner, but those two run out of real estate as they are 3 wide here. See the 46. I mean, there's distance to move for every driver involved there. And then here comes Bill Sleep. Bill does a pretty good job at wooing it up. I actually think he missed the 94, and then Dave Harrington just couldn't get it slowed up fast enough. Let's see what happens to the 22 here on exit. That's Connor Elliott to his outside, and yeah. There's a driver to your outside, so sideways, sitting on the backstretch. My goodness gracious. Well, I'll tell you one driver who's really enjoying this. Caleb Collins. Caleb Collins is able to get his lap back, so he's a few laps down, I believe, but if this continues to play out the way it's playing, he did all the hard work, got his truck repaired. Yeah, Collins is 16 laps down. We'll get the wave around here. Or the lucky dog, whichever one. But back up front, we have Eddie Baker, and now Greg Wood Jr. has found himself in second place. Hoping for some green flag runs here now, so these drivers can get back into a rhythm, but this has turned into a classic under the lights short track event. Lap 101 will turn to 102 when we go back to green flag racing. I am shocked that Justin Sumner was able to leapfrog some of those drivers and get to where he's at when he was sideways. So no worse for wear for the driver of the 94. He's going to be third on the outside lane. That outside lane, though, has been at a deficit all night long. The guys on the inside have always gotten a great jump. Let's see what Greg Wood Jr. can do now from the outside lane. Nope. Eddie Baker's able to get a good launch off, and we're back underway here from Richmond. These drivers back further in the field, they gotta be patient. You just gotta let the race come to you. The 94 knows he has pace. As Greg Wood Jr. now looks to the inside of the 3 machine. We know that 3 machine likes to defend from that top lane. He does a really good job at it, as he's able to now take second place from Greg Wood Jr. Put Scott Milliken's hat to the ring in second place. He better get up there quickly, because Justin Sumner has now found his way to 4th off the restart. Fender to fender with Jared Hayes. You gotta wonder how that truck handles differently in traffic with all that dirty air. Meanwhile, Dakota Ramsdell, our in-race reporter, he's back up to 6th place. He's praying for a long run. struggled earlier tonight. He feels like he's got a good long run car. He's just got to get back up into position as Peru hard into the fence there, coming off of turn 2. I don't think he's anywhere. Oh, yeah, look at that. Right front damage with the driver of the 22 machine. That's going to hurt, especially on corner entry. Let's see how Barub's able to manage this. He's sitting ninth. He's got a couple drivers in front of him that he knows he's quicker than. He's just got to manage his truck well. Meanwhile, this battle now is on for third place. Greg Wood Jr. side by side with Justin Sumner trying to recapture the lead at a night that he has led a ton of laps this evening up until very recently. Going down pit road on alternate strategy, and he's in the fence hard. Very similar to what the 22 did the last lap. Is the right front caved in? A little bit, as Ramsdell now hits the fence. Everybody's in the wall. Everybody's overdriving their race trucks right now. Trying to get every little bit of grip this track has to offer. Mentioned it earlier tonight. This is not a track you can manhandle. You just have to be content on hitting your marks and making speed up. It will not relent in you trying to squeeze every bit of speed out of this track. It is so complicated. It is so technical. And the line of error is just so thin. You can find yourself on the outside wall or the inside wall just as easily as you can be bopping straight down the backstretch. These drivers trying to balance the act of driving aggressively and keeping your truck underneath you as Sumner looks to the inside of Greg Wood Jr. Washes up into the 67 into turn 1, turn 2. This is short track racing at its finest. Do we go 3 wide? No, we don't. Ramsdell making a move now to the inside of the 94 through 3 and 4. Trying to get that run here through what would be basically a mini trial here at Richmond. Meanwhile, guys looking further back, just trying to observe as I think Dirty Air has found Justin Sumner as he has stopped at 4th place, tried to challenge for 3rd, threw everything he had at Greg Wood. Now has to sit back, regroup, let the tires cool down, and go and catch him. Meanwhile, back up front, you have Eddie Baker, who's up on Scott Milliken by about a second. Driver of the 3 machine's done a really good job tonight, just trying to capitalize on others' misfortune. Very similarly, Eddie Baker has done the same. These guys are on a different strategy, though. Both of them pitted on lap 77. As some of these drivers behind them, in fact, all the drivers behind them have pitted since then. These two keeping track position. Take a look here. Greg Wood, 4 stops. You got Dakota Ramsdell, who's put a lot of work into that truck. Has stopped 8 times on pit road. 7 times from Paul Owens. So some of those guys go down there and they just get damage repaired. Greg Wood Jr. last in on lap 82, 93 from Sumner, 98 from Ramsdell. Got a couple guys further on back, Ruben Owens also on 98. So just trying to paint the picture over what it's like in terms of fuel payload for these drivers. Here's the battle between Hayes and Rube. This is a battle for 6th place. That 22 truck is hurting with damage to the right front fender. Trying to make that work through corner entry. Good run off there from the 46 machine. Side by side to 3 and 4. See if he's able to execute here on exit. No, the driver of the 46 gets that great launch off that's so well known for Richmond at 3 and 4. Able to gap him by a car length and a half going into turn 1 and turn 2. Meanwhile, you can feel the tension rising as Justin Sumner, who has dominated tonight's event, not only cannot get around Greg Wood Jr., but he's being hounded by a driver who we've heard in the booth say, hey, I want this to go green. I have a really good long run truck. That's Dakota Ramsdell trying to hunt down what will eventually be the provisional leader I would imagine, if it stays green. Greg Wood Jr. getting that good launch off of 3 and 4. Can Ramsdell follow him now? Washing up there from the 94. We've been here before. A little wobbly going down the backstretch, side by side into 3 and 4. This is a battle for third place between 3 drivers who have a lot to gain from continuing to march up the leaderboard. Burying it down into turn 1. Can Sumner complete this pass? No, Greg Wood Jr. hits the fence on exit, though. That's going to jumble him up. And we're back to side-by-side racing in 3 and 4. Oh, a little bump there from Ramsdell. Getting into Sumner. Wood is in the fence. Everybody trying to get every ounce of speed out of their trucks right now. This is a great battle for the 3rd position. I actually think Ramsdell is faster than both of them, and he, I think, thinks so too. Thought better of it. There's a bump. That's just short track racing, getting into the back bumper of the 94 machine, and they're both sideways. Wood Jr. hard into the fence, and that's going to collect Ramsdell as well. All this starts from the bump of the 83. I think it really does get the 94 a little bit off in the center of the corner. That changes his trajectory on exit, and you can just see the 94 continue to push up the hill, gets into the 67. Greg tries to save it. Hard contact into the outside wall. Nowhere for the driver of the 83 to go. Yeah, these 3 drivers were racing really hard for the 3rd position. Look at this bump on entry. The 83 shows the nose. Okay. And then we get here. Now we're about into the center of the corner where we use the truck to roll. Well, now the 94 is traveling a lot quicker than what he's ever done. You see just a little bit of off kilter right after he gets hit. And that's going to change how the truck pushes up out off of exit. And the rest is history. Greg hard into the outside fence. Everybody down pit road right now. Sumner, I'm sure, is getting damage repaired. He is off and away. Baker only on pit road for 9.8 seconds. Matthew Erickson only on pit road for 4 seconds. Curious to know what the driver of the 28 machine did down pit road. Take a look. We have the technology. So here he comes. Down pit road, stops, and goes. So, gas only. Ramsdell only takes 2 here on his stop. We got some pit stop shenanigans down pit road. As Baker takes 2, Erickson takes none, and the rest take 4. This could play out, I think, for Erickson. His task is he's got to keep the truck clean. He's probably saving a set here. Probably hoping for another caution with about 15 to go. Throw 10-lap freshies on there and see what you can do with them. Or it might be totally wrong. You might be out of tires. So, don't know, but... Oh, man, doesn't this look different. Eddie Baker now going to have to defend a hard-charging Justin Sumner. Pace truck is off. We will get the 25 lap to go mark starting now. Oh, bundled him up on the restart as Baker is off and away. That's going to hurt the outside lane. We knew Ericsson wasn't going to launch as well as some of these other guys. Milliken really burying it down into turn one. He is really, really good on corner entry, but he needs some space. He doesn't need a driver in front of him. Look at Matt trying to hold on to that truck as he free falls through the field. We knew that would happen. It's not unexpected. Tires are king here at Richmond. Playing the long game. Driver of the 3 machine now hounding the back bumper of Dakota Ramsdell here for 3rd place, but now Ramsdell once more to the inside of Justin Sumner through 3 and 4. This guy wants a long run to end tonight's race. He might not have a run long enough, though, to really capitalize for the win, but he's got to worry about getting 2nd place from Justin Sumner. Eddie Baker continues to scoot away as the top 3 have been up front most of the evening. It's just the reshuffling through all the different cautions and all the different pit strategies for tonight. Can Eddie Baker on 2 tires as Ramsdell messes up corner entry, able to get a good launch off, rebound there. Can Baker on 2 tires scoot away from Sumner, the dominant driver tonight? But ever since misfortune found Sumner, it's been the Eddie Baker show. There's the gap. Look at that. The 94 letting it all hang out there on the exit. He's trying to bridge this gap, get the goodies out of the 4 fresh tires so he can go catch the leader, but that's not going to help as he tags the wall coming out turn 4. The lead is decreasing. I'm sure Watkins Glen playing in the back of the mind of the driver of the 94. Saying, I'm not going to finish 2nd to you again. Laps continue to tick away. 19 to go. The gap, 0.8 seconds. Is clean air going to be enough with 2 tires from Eddie Baker? Will the 2-tire call be the winning call tonight? Lots of time left. 18 laps to go. We've seen plenty happen to drivers on corner entry and exit. And this is the part of Richmond that I love the most. You just have to fall in love with the consistency. Nobody is going to be able to rip this away from Eddie Baker if he just continues to hit his marks, because we've seen defensive driving tonight from different drivers. You can defend well here. You just have to keep looking out the windshield and focus, even though you're at a tire disadvantage. You've seen this lap. He's missed the bottom. He's hit the fence. He's been overdriving. The lead now down to half a second between the championship favorites, Eddie Baker and Justin Sumner. A little sideways there out of 2. We're going to continue to focus on the lead lap, or on the leaders rather, as they battle. Sumner going to reel him in. They have stretched out their lead over the rest of the field. This is the class of the field right now. Sumner's been well-versed in dirty air ever since misfortune found him coming out of the previous stage. Drivers wadded it up. He chose to go on alternative pit strategy. He's found himself back up to 2nd. Look at that shallow entry into turn 1. Really able to wrap that yellow line. He avoids putting extra wheel in it on exit. Nice and smooth. As the gap now sits at 0.4 seconds. We said it last week. We'll say it again. Getting there is one thing. Passing is another. And these drivers have felt it all night long here from Richmond. Dakota Ramsdell has made the pass on Scott Milliken for 3rd place. Does the driver of the 83 have enough time? We know he's got a good long run truck. Gonna focus back up here at the front 2. Maybe this battle will bring in Dakota Ramsdell. We don't know. You can feel the tensions rising here in Richmond, Virginia, as these two heavyweights continue to try to square off week after week after week, claiming dominance here in the Tier 1 Truck Series. What does Sumner have up his sleeve for Eddie Baker? With 11 laps to go, the lead is just 3 car lengths. Inch by inch they gain. Baker now 0.3 seconds behind the driver of the 84 machine. We see a bump and run. Will we see some classic short track maneuvers with 10 to go? All night long we've been seeing drivers not being afraid to lay the chrome horn to somebody. How will the two championship favorites wind up racing each other? Especially off the heartbreak of last week for one, and the complete joy from the others. And 94 gets sideways, he's into the fence. That might just do it. The gap, 0.7 of a second. Sumner trying to dig, getting everything he's got out of that 94 machine. 8 laps to go. Both drivers got a little squirrely on exit. One saved it, one hit the fence. He had it dwindled down to about 3 car lengths. And now, Eddie Baker on 2 tires is holding on. White knuckling this lead. The gap back to 3rd place has not changed. But the battle continues to rage on between these two drivers. Back up front. No gain here on this lap. Sumner running out of time. Can Eddie Baker get another win from Justin Sumner? Lap traffic might play a factor here. Getting 5 laps to go. You have Dave Harrington and Bill Sleep. 10th and 11th on the racetrack. And it all depends on where the leader catches him. If you catch him midway through the corner, it's going to hurt your exit. So we'll have to see. Will lap traffic play a factor? The gap continues to stay steady. If anything, Sumner's gained a 10th. 4 laps to go. Harrington keeping that truck to the outside lane. That's going to hurt the exit of the driver of the 84 machine. The lead now dwindled down to half a second. Will that be enough? There might be a little hope here with 3 laps to go. Half a second now. That was 3/10 that last lap. The driver of the 84 caught the lap truck of Harrington in a bad spot on exit. Through 3 and 4, Baker's got to keep hitting his marks. On 2 tires with 2 laps to go. Can he hold him off? The gap, 0.6 seconds. Trying to catch now Bill Sleep. A little wobbly there from both drivers out of turn 2. Burying it now into 3 and 4. That's going to hurt his exit a little bit, but otherwise no worse for wear. Final lap presented by Tier 1 Setup Shop. Through 1 and 2 is Eddie Baker. The tire call. Going down pit road to get just 2. If he hits his marks through 3 and 4 will be the winning call of the race, and the driver of the Sullivan Tire Machine goes back to back and wins at Richmond. What a run by Eddie Baker. Justin Sumner, our in-race reporter Dakota Ramsdell, Scott Milliken, and Jared Hayes, your top 5. What a pit call from Eddie Baker. Last week he did it on fuel mileage. This week he does it with another pit call on late in this race to grab 2 tires and to snag a win here at Richmond. We're going to go side by side for you guys and get the drivers ready in the broadcast booth. You won't miss the celebration here. We'll be back in just a moment.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an easy day download now at easydaybot.com.
Welcome back from Richmond Raceway. We are going to bring the third place finisher tonight. Dakota Ramsdale, you got a copy?
Hey, man. How are you?
In Race Reporter finishes third. You managed to claw your way all the way back. That last run wasn't quite long enough, was it?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think so. The second to last run before that caution, so I took tires late, so I had a little bit fresher tires before we changed on that last caution, and I kind of feel like I had something for them then, and then of course when me and Sumner and Greg Wood was racing there, I was trying to get around both of them. I knew I was faster than them, and one thing led to another, and a couple bumps later, and we all had to get tires. But yeah, come back and finish third after a race tonight like we had. That's pretty good for this Big Tex Autoplex Toyota for sure.
Well, we want to thank you for being our in-race reporter tonight. You did a really good job, and you managed to get a third place finish out of tonight. Is there any thank you, sponsors, or shout outs you want to give for tonight's effort?
Shout out to my wife for watching the races and letting me do this every Monday night. Shout out to Big Tex, Deckmate, and Pontoon Stuff for sponsoring me and watching me on the track. And big shout out to anybody, all my friends watching at the fire station. And that's about it. And thank you all for doing the broadcast.
All right, Dakota, P3 tonight. You got the privilege of being the in-race reporter. You did an excellent job up in the booth all night long. Took that pressure and managed to get it up to a third place finish. Good job tonight. Go and enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. And any time on that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
All right. We're going to pull up the driver of the 94 machine who was up front for a lot of the first half of tonight's event. And then curveballs continue to come his way. It's Justin Sumner. Zach Woods, you got a copy? Justin, you got a copy?
Yeah, my wheels button is acting up. I'm sorry, I got you.
Oh, no. Well, you saw a little bit of everything. You had a truck that dominated the early part of the event, but then he got shuffled back into the pack and had to deal with all the dirty air that these drivers were flinging off the back spoilers of their machines. And then he had a chance late catching a guy that took 2 tires. Talk to the fans out there about your experience around Richmond.
Well, one of these days I'll have a complete race. It felt good out front, and then just, I came down and got fuel, so, I'll make sure I was good because I didn't know if it would go green or not. And had a chance, stepped on myself coming into 2 or coming into 1, and let Dakota get underneath me. Let Eddie get away a little bit. I could catch him, and then I would get loose. I'd be pushing it too much, and just couldn't deliver. That's all it is to it. It's all me. I just gotta Do better.
Well, you put on a heck of a show. I mean, that truck was sideways, and we could tell you were trying to get everything you could out of that machine tonight. So we want to thank you for putting on a good show for everybody. But do you have any thank you sponsors or shout outs you want to give for tonight's P2 effort?
Yeah, my teammates over at Black Car Mafia, my boss man Terry, I know he was in the chat. He was checking in on me. Appreciate you guys. Amanda Made Customs and Dabos, not Dabos, but I have Dabos down here, but Sambo's, Double Nickel TV, you guys, appreciate you guys for putting this league on, and hopefully I'll get out of this little bit of rut. I show up good and then sputter out, so hopefully I can get out of this come the next race.
Well, coming from a nobody iRacer to you, I wish my ruts were second place finishers. That'd be awesome. But I get what you mean. I gotta tell you, man, you and Eddie are putting on some heavyweight battles here for the championship, and the fans here are in for a treat as the season continues along. Keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Like I said, I don't think second place is gonna win the championship this go around with Eddie here, so I'm gonna have to start knocking off some wins.
All right, Justin. Well, good points day for you. Multiple stage appearances for you. So take that points win, carry that momentum next week.
Roger that. Thank you, sir.
And that was Justin Sumner. Now we are going to be greeted by the winner of tonight's event, but not just tonight, but last week. It's Eddie Baker. You got a copy? Oh no, not another guy with button problems. Eddie, you got a copy? Eddie, it's Zach Woods up in the Tier 1 booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, you got me?
Oh, there we go. Okay, you're here. Woo!
I had to reset my keybind. I don't know what was happening.
Well, we're thankful you got that figured out, but you also seem to get pit strategy figured out. 2 weeks in a row, you're able to make the right call in crunch time and get the win. Talk to the fans about tonight's experience here at Richmond.
Honestly, I just got lucky with the cautions. Once I was able to stay out after the cautions, it helped me out, and the right side tires weren't wearing as good as I thought. But honestly, the setup really wasn't to my liking. I couldn't pivot, and it didn't want to arc in. It seemed to work in Justin's favor. So I mean, it was really his race, but a couple of mistakes and timely yellows, and I was just able to capitalize.
Well, you did a great job. I tell you what, and I told Justin the same thing. You and him have been throwing around some heavyweight battles over the last few weeks, and we fans, we're in for a treat if this is what's going to continue for the rest of the season. So you guys have put on a great show. So good on you. What does this win do now really for momentum for playoffs? I mean, we've talked about last week what a win does for you. Well, now you got 2 or no, 3.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can keep the momentum up and have a good run on the playoffs, but just going to keep chasing wins and see what happens. That's all.
All right, Eddie. Do you have any thank you sponsors or shout outs you want to give for tonight's effort?
Yeah, just thank Sullivan Tire for being on the truck, and then, everybody that tunes in, you guys for what you do, and hopefully we can keep this going.
All right, Eddie. Well, congrats on the win here at Richmond. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks, guys.
And that is Eddie Baker, driver of the Sullivan Tire Chevrolet here for tonight. We're going to take a look at the rest of the story when it comes to who finished where for tonight's event. You just heard from our top 3, Baker, Sumner, and Ramsdell. Shout out to Scott Milligan, who finishes P4 tonight. Milligan was able to make his way to the front, +9 from where he started tonight. So great effort for the driver of the 3 tops machine. You saw Jared Hayes a few times tonight. He finished in the 5th position. Driver of the 46, Jordan Barube, damaged late, brings it home 6th. Connor Elliott, the jump man, finishes 7th. Matthew Erickson finishes 8th. Paul Owens 9th. And Bill Sleep rounds out your top 10, 1 lap down. Dave Harrington also 1 lap down in 11th. Caleb Collins limps that truck home 16 laps down in 12th, and Greg Wood Jr. finishes 13th for tonight's event. Oh man, what a treat tonight was here from Richmond. You saw the heavyweights square off against one another. You saw thrills and spills from drivers trying to get everything out of their race machines so that they could advance their positioning in a chase for the championship. What a cool opportunity it is to witness the action from Tier 1 Truck Series. My name is Zach Woods up here in the Tier 1 studio. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe here for Tier 1 studio action all across our different leagues that we have here in the studio. We'll see you next week coming right at you from Auto Club Speedway. My name is Zach Woods. Everybody, have a good night.